Kenneth, this was some incredible journalism. Your story had clocked in at more than 5,000 words. Can you just summarize for people who may not have read it or seen it yet what your investigation revealed?
Well, let me just start with, for me, Death is Expected started in 2017 with the death of 4 First Nation girls in 6 months. I thought it was a big deal, and it is a big deal. Anytime a kid dies when they're pulled from their home for their safety and they die in child welfare, that's an issue, and it is a big deal, and it should create headlines. And there was 4 in 6 months, when they went a little quiet, and then in February 2018, I got a video of Kanaya Sutura, one of the girls who died, killing herself, and it was in a Suliko foster home. And I ended up doing 17 stories on that, on that young girl's death over the next year. But I kept wondering and seeing there's more people dying out there, more kids dying than what was being reported. And so I wanted to figure out the total number. I wanted to figure out why, and I went at it hard as I could. And what we came up with was 102 deaths over 5 years, 2013 to end of 2017. And it's 102 deaths with kids connected to child welfare in Ontario, mostly Northern Ontario, where mostly these places most of the agencies are Indigenous, and they're underfunded by hundreds of millions of dollars, purposely underfunded. This is not us saying it, that's a tribunal saying it, Cindy Blackstock, and we proved it with data.
Yeah. What's the reaction to the story been like?
You know what, some people think that it hasn't been enough, but I don't really, I look at it differently. I see the Globe and Mail asking Trudeau a question. I see the Globe and Mail asking Scheer a question. I see Don Martin on Power Play talking about it over and over again. Had me on. Other people are talking about it. It's become an issue. It's not, I compare it to blackface because blackface is so easy to understand. You see someone blackface and you go, that's completely wrong. Obviously 102 kids dying is wrong, but there's a lot of reasons, the backstory to why that happened, and it's been centuries of chronic underfunding, purposely, the stories that our viewers know about. It's not, it's not a secret. Yeah.
Do you think that there's collectively a greater awareness among people that kids are in care? Like, I think everybody has a basis of understanding that the child welfare system isn't really working in this country. Do you think that there's a greater understanding now among average citizens that there's a lot of kids that are in care that should never be in care?
Well, I'm gonna plug your work and my work because I think both of us, you and I, work really hard to tell everyone what's going on and to understand something. When you look back at the residential school era, and it's horrific. We're dealing with the same thing right now, if not worse. And there's 2 reporters working on this full time, basically, it's you and me. And we're trying to educate the public. I think people are getting it because we're laying bare the facts. Like, tonight on Nation to Nation, our whole show was dedicated to it. Same with your show last night, or yesterday on In Focus. We're putting all of our means to educate the public so that they know what is going on.
Well, that's, I guess, what keeps us going. What's going to keep you reporting next? Where do you go?
It might have been 5,500 words, Death is Expected, but there's 10,000, 20,000 more words to tell. I'm digging into Crown wards in Ontario. I'm really focusing on Ontario because Northern Ontario, to me, is a petri dish of colonization. There's so many huge issues up there, from lack of water, lack of resources, lack of everything. And so I really focus on Ontario while you work, in the West. I'm going to really dig into the Crown wards and some more issues. And force the Ontario government to get me a tally of how many Indigenous kids in Ontario are in care. I want that right now.
I love it. I have much respect for what you do, Kenneth, and thanks for sharing with us. We look forward to what's coming up next.
Right on. Thank you.